Hello and welcome to your SST class, my dear students. Today we are yet again with a new chapter of SST, and after so many days, after taking geography and civics continuously, now we are on a new chapter of history. That is chapter 8 of your NCERT book. Chapter name is Civilizing the Native, Educating the Nation. Okay, so first of all, we will have और डिस्कशन अबाउट दिस प्रेटी लॉन्ग चैप्टर टॉपिक. हमने इस चैप्टर को इतना लंबा नाम क्यों दिया है? व्हाट इज द रीजन फॉर दैट? व्हाट डज दिस वर्ड सिविलाइजिंग द नेटिव मींस? एजुकेटिंग द नेशन इज प्रेटी क्लियर. ओके स्टूडेंट्स, हमने अपने पिछले चैप्टर्स में ये स्टडी किया था कि हाउ डिड ब्रिटिशर्स मैनेज टू रूल इंडिया. उन्होंने किस तरह से रूल किया इंडिया पर. हाउ डिड दे जनरेटेड रेवेन्यू फ्रॉम इंडिया. उन्होंने अपना टैक्सेस और बाकी चीज़ों को इंडिया से कैसे जनरेट किया. उन्होंने इंडिया के रेबल्स को कैसे सुप्रेस किया, उसको कैसे रिवोल्ट को कंट्रोल किया, कैसे मैनेज किया, कैसे ब्रिटिशर्स की पॉलिसीज affected, how did they affected kings, peasants, nobles, and other farmers and jamidars, princes and queens. In this chapter, this is an entirely different chapter, and I assure that this chapter will be pretty close to your taste. Okay, because it deals lots and lots about learning and studying. Okay, in this chapter, uh, it's a change of mind of frame of Britishers. Means उन्होंने now when they were slowly settling down in India as a ruler, and they feel that now they are quite comfortable कि अब उनकी इंडिया में जो पोजीशन है, इट्स अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग पोजीशन. नाउ हार्डली एनीबडी कैन रिमूव देम फ्रॉम इंडिया एज अ रूलर. तो उन्होंने एक दूसरी चीज पर वर्कआउट करना स्टार्ट किया. दैट वाज टू सिविलाइज द पीपल ऑफ इंडिया, टू एजुकेट द पीपल ऑफ इंडिया, either through their own means or through the existing means which India already had. Okay, so it will be quite interesting to know that how will the Britishers be going to educate Indians? Was this for a better cause? Yeah, again there was some conspiracy going on in the minds of the Britishers. क्या उनकी ये सोच सिंपल थी, साधारण थी, या उसमें भी कोई हिडन कॉन्स्पिरेसी थी कि वो इंडियंस को एजुकेट करना क्यों चाहते चाहते थे? व्हाट वाज द मोटिव बिहाइंड इट? व्हाट वाज द पर्पस बिहाइंड इट? सो लेट्स सी द फर्स्ट हेडिंग. हाउ द ब्रिटिश हाउ द ब्रिटिश सो एजुकेशन. सी Britishers so that कि whatever education there it is existing in India, it is basically from the एंशियंट माइथोलॉजिकल टेक्स्ट. ओके, जो कुछ भी इंडिया में स्टडी चलती थी, टेक्सचुअल स्टडी, द पीपल हु वर कॉल्ड लिटरेट, दे वर बेसिकली इन्फ्लुएंस्ड बाय द एंशियंट टेक्स्ट ऑफ इंडिया. आइदर दे वर इन अरेबिक, पर्शियन और संस्कृत. Dear students, you will be surprised to know that hardly in this chapter you will ever listen the name of word Hindi language. Okay, either you will listen the word Persian, Arabic, or Sanskrit. Okay, so this Britishers keep on started on thinking that how are they going to teach Indians. उनको कैसे पढ़ाया जाए, किस तरीके से पढ़ाया जाए? बिकॉज सी ब्रिटिशर्स वर नॉट फेमिलियर विद द लैंग्वेजेस ऑफ India. They were not familiar with Sanskrit. They were not familiar with Arabic. They were not familiar with Persian. They were familiar with their own language, that was English. So they thought that what is the best way to teach the English, and there was no so much, you know, study material also available. Only the ancient books of Indians, their mythological books, was the only medium to teach them. Okay, इन ऑर्डर टू टीच देम, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इट वाज कंपलसरी कि ब्रिटिशर्स को खुद भी वो लैंग्वेजेस आना जरूरी था. दे नीड टू बी नोइंग दोस लैंग्वेजेस इनिशियली, देन ओनली दे कुड बी एबल टू एजुकेट इंडियंस. ओके, tradition of Orientalism. What does Orientalism means? Orientalism is a word in which we study about the ancient texts of basically Asian continent. Okay, the ancient books, the ancient historical books, maybe the religious books of Asian Asian continent. So in this phase, the first person who took initiative, a Britisher who took initiative in getting involved with this education system was Mr. William Jones. In 1783, Mr. William Jones was appointed as a junior judge at Calcutta. At that time in Calcutta, in 1783, the Britishers established their own Supreme Court. At that time, in those times, 1783, the Supreme Court was to be placed in Calcutta. Okay. So, and he was also a linguist. What does linguist means? Linguist is a person, linguist उस person को बोलते हैं जिसको बहुत सारी languages का knowledge होती है, ज्ञान होता है. He can understand, he can speak, he can write. Means he is uh, fluent in many languages. Okay. So this person was knowing many languages like French, Greek, Latin, of course, English also. And when he was coming to India, when he already came down to Calcutta, he was into the learning phase of Persian, Arabic, and he started learning Sanskrit as well. He used to have long debates with the Sanskrit Pandits at Calcutta. Okay, and slowly he started learning these Indian languages as well. Okay, with the help of these languages, Persian, Arabic, and Sanskrit, he started learning ancient Indian books. Those books were based on law, philosophy, religion, politics, morality, arithmetic, and medicines. We have so many Shastras, Ayurveda Shastra, and Arth Shastra, so, many variety of books, so many Veds, Purans, and other ancient books. Okay, these were being studied by this British official. Okay, then later on, one more fellow from England, Henry Thomas Colebrook and Nathaniel Halhed, they also started exploring Indian ancient literature. For that, they also studied the same languages, Sanskrit and Persian. And they started exploring Indian texts, whatever good information they can retrieve from those texts, whether it was written in the period of uh, Emperor Akbar, Humayun, Babur, Shah Jahan, or maybe earlier to them. Fine. And then what happened was, then these guys collectively, means Mr. William Jones and this Henry Thomas and the other persons, they collectively joined and they formed Asiatic Society of Bengal. They joined together to form Asiatic Society of Bengal, and they also started a journal. Journal, you can say, like it's a type of a magazine or a newspaper also. You can call as a journal. Okay. So in the next page of the same video, we will further study about their efforts, their ways, their methods that they actually applied to start this particular system. See, till now, whatever contribution was being done, whatever things that was being done by these people, that was in a positive way. They respected, they regarded the Indian ancient textbook very much. They really thought that there is a quality material, there is a knowledge in ancient Indian books. They were a damn good follower of those books. Okay. Further, we will study that will this positivity remain till the end of the chapter, till the end of the topic, till the end of the era. Yeah, it will be changing according to the time phase, according to the people. So keep watching this video. I will be soon with the next page and the next topic. Okay, students, we are back with our topic, tradition of Orientalism. And the Orientalism word, as I've already explained, the people who do a deep scholarly study about the traditions and custom and languages of Asiatic continent, Asia continent. Asiatic Society, as I was discussing to you just now, Asiatic Society General, its name was Asiatic Researches. Okay, journal you can say, आप इसको एक magazine भी कह सकते हैं या maybe अ टाइप ऑफ न्यूज़पेपर, वीकली और फोर्टनाइटली न्यूज़पेपर। उस समय खैर इतना दैट वाज नो ट्रेडिशन ऑफ printing or reading the newspaper daily. At that time, the newspaper was hardly printed in a week, or maybe 15 days in a week, or maybe once in a month. So it was pretty like a magazine. Okay. These Asiatic society peoples, they believe that Indian civilization glory, it was very high. It reached to its uh, peak high, and it was actually glorious. जो हमारा पुराना इतिहास है, भारत का इतिहास है, वो काफी गौरवशाली रहा है. We had a wonderful ancient civilization of our country India. But as the time spent, जैसे जैसे समय बीतता गया, द ग्लोरी डिमिनिश्ड, वो ग्लोरी धीरे धीरे कम इसलिए होती गई क्योंकि हम लोग वी स्टार्टेड फॉरगेटिंग अवर एंशियंट पास्ट. वो जो ग्लोरीफाइड पीरियड था वो लोगों की मेमोरी से इसलिए वाइप आउट होता रहा क्योंकि द पीपल वर नॉट सो मच एजुकेटेड. द पीपल हु आर वेरी वाइज, दोज हु आर वेरी एजुकेटेड, उन्होंने अपने टाइम में वो चीजें लिख दी. लेकिन द पीपल इन द नेक्स्ट जनरेशन वर नॉट सो एजुकेटेड दैट दे वर नॉट एबल टू लर्न दोस टेक्स्ट. ओके, दोस लिटरेचर. आगे आने वाली जो जनरेशन आती थी उनको या तो उस लैंग्वेज को समझने में प्रॉब्लम होती थी जिस लैंग्वेज में हमारे सेक्रेड टेक्स्ट लिखे हुए हैं, एंशियंट टेक्स्ट लिखे हुए हैं, या वो जनरेशन इट वाज नॉट कंपल्सरी दैट इट वाज सो much educated that they could understand it. Okay, so in order to rediscover it, sacred and legal text. Yes, student, what I was saying is, in order to rediscover the Indian glorified past, there was a need to re-explore, re-study the sacred and legal text of Indian ancient culture. हमें अपने पुराने जो हमारी एंशियंट टेक्स्ट बुक्स थी उनको दोबारा पढ़ने की, दोबारा स्टडी करने की जरूरत थी, सो दैट हमें पता चले कि हाउ मच प्रेस्टिजियस पास्ट वाज ऑफ आवर कंट्री इंडिया. ओके, many British officials supported that Indians should be taught पर्शियन एंड संस्कृत. ओके, ये काफी सारे ब्रिटिश ऑफिसर्स ने माना कि इंडियंस को पर्शियन और संस्कृत लैंग्वेज को दोबारा पढ़ाना चाहिए. मीन्स दे फर्स्ट पुट अ प्रायोरिटी कि इंडियंस शुड फर्स्टली बी टोट देयर ओन लैंग्वेज. वाई सो? इट लुक्स बिट सरप्राइज्ड कि इंडियंस को ब्रिटिशर्स ऐसा क्यों बोल रहे हैं कि उनको पर्शियन और संस्कृत लैंग्वेज टीच करनी चाहिए, पढ़ानी चाहिए, जबकि इट्स अवर ओन नेटिव लैंग्वेज. व्हाई शुड ब्रिटिशर्स advise it to teach to the Indians? The reason was the literacy rate of India was not so much good. There was a huge illiteracy rate because of which we were not able to explore our ancient books even. हमें अपनी खुद की जो पुरानी किताबें थी, जो पुरानी बुक्स थी, जो हमारे सेक्रेड टेक्स्ट थे, जो हमारे होली टेक्स्ट थे, वो हम खुद भी नहीं समझ पाते थे, मोस्ट ऑफ द इंडियंस, बिकॉज वी डिडंट हैव द नॉलेज ऑफ पर्शियन एंड संस्कृत. ओके, ऑन अ लार्ज स्केल. In that phase when Britishers advocated, जब उन्होंने इस चीज की सिफारिश करी कि इंडियंस को पहले पर्शियन और संस्कृत लैंग्वेज, या जो लैंग्वेजेस इंडिया में बोली जाती हैं, लिखी जाती हैं, पहले उनको अच्छे से सिखाओ. पहले फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल टीच द नेटिव लैंग्वेजेस ऑफ इंडिया टू maximum Indians possible. Then we can move a step ahead in teaching them Indian on or any other foreign language. So in that consequence, in 1781, the first madrasa was set up in Calcutta to promote the Arabic, Persian and Islamic laws, so that the people, the students can learn Arabic language, Persian language and Islamic laws. और उसी सिनेरियो में after a decade, after 10 years, Hindu college was established in Benares to promote the learning of ancient Sanskrit texts. Okay, so we have already completed two headings of this chapter. In the next page in the same video, I will try to cover one more part of this chapter. So be with it, and I will recommend you to keep your NCRT textbook open with you. We are discussing in this video pages from 95 to near about 98. So you can have a better understanding of the chapter if you are reading from the book also and trying to understand this video also. Okay, so keep watching it, and I will be back soon with this next topic of these pages which I have told you. Students, now we are on the next heading of the chapter, that is grave errors of the East. Same chapter, chapter number 8. We have just switched our next heading. Grave error of the East means key what were the mistakes that were being done. Okay, errors, of course, it signifies the mistakes. And here, students, in this chapter, we are having some direction wise specification, means most in this chapter many a times we are using the word east and west. Okay, this east and west replicates, ये ईस्टर्न और वेस्टर्न एजुकेशन को सिग्निफाई करते हैं. दैट वी विल बी seeing as we proceed in the chapter. Okay, you will automatically understand that this eastern education stands for which particular country, for India or for uh, England, or whichever way it is. Okay, so please don't get confused by seeing this word east, because east is on also the first word for East India Company. Okay, and eastern part, it also signifies our continent, Asian continent and India country. Okay, so as we proceed in the chapter, जैसे जैसे हम chapter में आगे proceed करेंगे, you will automatically get to know that why we are using again and again in this chapter the word east and west. What does it actually means? Okay, now there was a people, pessimistic people, the people who used to think negatively, who used to oppose the contribution of previous gentlemen who recommended इंडियन एजुकेशन, जिन्होंने इंडियन एजुकेशन को, इंडियन एंशियंट टेक्स्ट्स को, पर्शियन लैंग्वेज को, संस्कृत को, अरेबिक को काफ़ी प्रमोट किया. नाउ द पीपल केम इनटू सिनेरियो दोज हु वर अगेंस्ट इट. As you know, the Britishers were never happy with the progress of India. So of course this was श्योर टू बी हैपेंड. ये तो होना ही था, आज नहीं तो कल, कि कोई ना कोई ब्रिटिशर्स ऑफिसर्स आके, एजुकेशनिस्ट आके इस चीज को अपोज जरूर करते. एंड इट एक्चुअली हैपेंड. जेम्स मिल, वन ऑफ द एजुकेशनिस्ट, ब्रिटिश एजुकेशनिस्ट, he said that the Britishers are not meant to teach Indians their native language. वो उन्होंने बोला कि ये ब्रिटिशर्स का काम नहीं है कि इंडियंस को इंडिया वालों की नेटिव लैंग्वेज सिखाई जाए. वो इंडियंस अपनी नेटिव लैंग्वेज अपने आप सीखेंगे बाय देयर ओन रिसोर्सेज. वी आर नॉट हियर टू टीच देम देयर ओन नेटिव लैंग्वेज. आवर वर्क इज नॉट as such. Our work is to rule the country, govern the country, do the business in the country, do the trading in the country. Fine. Then in 1836, Thomas Babington Macaulay also opposed in the same style. He opposed that teaching of Indian languages to the native is again of no use. He advocated that there should be English language to be taught to the Indians. Means he said that कि इंडिया में जो स्कूल्स हैं वो इंग्लिश मीडियम स्कूल्स होने चाहिए, एटलीस्ट एट द हायर एजुकेशन लेवल और मे बी senior secondary level. Okay, and he opposed these text. He also told that whatever entire content, whatever entire glory, whatever entire knowledge our Indian ancient texts are having, that much glory only the single shelf of English books would carry. The glory the ancient past of England would carry. मीन्स उन्होंने ये कहा कि जितना एंशियंट सिविलाइजेशन, ग्लोरीफाइड सिविलाइजेशन, ओके, प्रेस्टिजियस सिविलाइजेशन पूरी इंडियन कंट्री का है, उतना अकेला, इतना नॉलेज, उतनी कैपेबिलिटी आपको इंग्लिश ट्रेडिशन कल्चर की एक बुक शेल्फ से मिल जाएगी. सो ही वॉज ह्यूमिलेटिंग इंडियन एंशियंट text and culture. Okay, by making so much uh, huge comparison कि he kept Indian culture in this much bracket and England culture in this much bracket as far as the texts were concerned. तो उन्होंने इंडियन टेक्स्ट को, इंडियन एंशियंट कल्चर को बिल्कुल ऑलमोस्ट जीरो क्रेडिट दिया, उसको जीरो के इक्वल रख दिया कि इट इज ऑफ नो यूज, इट इज हार्डली ऑफ एनी एग्जिस्टेंस, देयर इज नो नीड टू स्टडी इट, ये कुछ भी नहीं है इंग्लैंड के ट्रेडिशन और कल्चर के सामने. ओके. Okay, after the recommendation of this Thomas Macaulay, finally what the uh, East India Company did is in 1835 English Education Act was introduced, and in this act the English medium was being uh, inculcated, it was being introduced in the higher education. Means the people, those who would be doing higher education, they will have to study their subjects in English medium. Okay. And also these officials criticize the older institutes which we have just discussed in the previous page, jo the Calcutta madrasa that was established, the Hindu College of Banaras that was established, those educational institute, these officials also criticize those educational institutes heavily. Okay, so this was the thing which I tried to cover in today's video. Hope you would have understood the content. You can have a reading of the chapter again, and you can do both the things simultaneously. You can watch the video and keep on matching these headings and text with your book as well for having better understanding. So that's it for the day. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Jai Hind.